Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen a breakout of an 8-year-long trend line on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, what is the Bitcoin dominance chart? The Bitcoin dominance chart is a chart that measures the strength of Bitcoin in relation to altcoins in a percentage format. So right now it's at 55%, meaning that 55% of the money in cryptocurrency is in Bitcoin and the remaining 45% is in altcoins. So when this chart goes upwards, it means Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins. And when it goes downwards, it means altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. Now, when altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, that is what we call an altcoin season. Currently, this chart is in an upwards trend. Not only is it in an upwards trend, but it's just broken out of an 8-year-long resistance line, which stems back from 2016. So it's actually aggressively moving upwards at the moment. In fact, it's literally just seen the breakout. It is in the midst of an aggressive move to the upside, meaning that Bitcoin right now holds dominance in the market. And this is why, right? In all of my YouTube videos since October, which is when I made my first Bitcoin dominance video for a long time, and throughout the bear market, obviously, I've been saying Bitcoin right now holds dominance in the market. Buying altcoins should be done sparingly. Yes, you can buy altcoins, of course. I personally have around 35% to 40% of my portfolio in altcoins, and I've been gradually increasing that amount. But I'm still the majority in Bitcoin. And back in October, it was only in October that I made my first altcoin buy. And I made my first altcoin buy in October because I saw signs that Bitcoin dominance was going sideways. And I saw the potential that that could flip down into a reversal. It obviously did not. We obviously went upwards here. But I will say that even though we've seen this breakout, I would say this is going to be the final move to the upside for Bitcoin dominance. I would say by the time Bitcoin sees another move to the upside. So currently, let's go to the Bitcoin chart here. Currently, Bitcoin's at 64K, right? And what we see is that Bitcoin is correcting right now. When we see this correction done, wherever it may be, wherever it be, 57K, wherever it be right now, by the time Bitcoin tops out on its next move, I believe that altcoin dominance will start rising, and hence I believe that Bitcoin dominance will start to drop. Right, I believe an altcoin season will begin. So right now, I'm very comfortable in my strategy, which is basically incrementally shifting money from altcoins into Bitcoin. From Bitcoin into altcoins, right, to position myself for an altcoin season. But I'm also very, very comfortable having the majority of my capital in Bitcoin still, because we're still technically in the Bitcoin season. So rest assured, guys, the altcoin season hasn't even started yet. And as we know, with how money flows in cryptocurrency, looking at this money flow chart, we see that Bitcoin is kind of the first step. So money goes from fiat in the bear market, everyone sells everything. Then it goes all the way back around, people start buying again at the end of the bear market into the first stage of the bull market. That's the Bitcoin phase. Then everything flows into Ethereum when people start to get greedy. Then everything flows into altcoins when there's euphoria. And this is when max greed occurs. This is when everything's pumping to the moon in the last phase of the altcoin season, the last phase of the bull market. And then everything crashes down. We enter a bear market. People sell back into fiat or stable coins, right? Right now, we're still in step one. We're still in the Bitcoin phase. So we have the Ethereum phase and the altcoin phase still to go in this bull market. Generally speaking, from when phase one ends, we see about a 300-day period for these two phases to play out. And then we see the top, right? So if we look back in previous cycles, for example, we go backwards to, let's say, the start of the drop, the start of the altcoin season here in 2017. We see that from the start of the altcoin season to the end of the bull market, the bottom of the altcoin season, took about 300 days. And it took about the same amount of time here in 2020 to 2021. Again, about 300 days to November. Okay. If we were to see a 300-day period again, we know that the Bitcoin season's not even over yet. So let's say, for example, that altcoin dominance starts to rise. We see an altcoin season, let's just say at the end of May, for argument's sake, end of May. That's when we see the top on Bitcoin dominance. From that point, it would be a 300-day period to the end of the bull market. That would take us to around March next year. Okay. So all of our predictions really, outside of the 4-year cycle, because we know we've seen deviations from the 4-year cycle, but outside of the 4-year cycle, all of our predictions have kind of taken us to the start of next year, essentially, as the top for the bull market, right? The first half of next year. And this is another kind of metric saying, okay, yeah, look, the first half of next year is going to be the top of the bull market. The top, not the start, but the top of the bull market. So it's interesting to see all this data pointing to the start of next year, or, let's say the first 2 quarters of next year as the top of the bull market. We'll have to track to see how that progresses. But right now, this is another data point here, because we see altcoin season historically lasts 300 days. From when we speculate the altcoin season will begin, 300 days from that point takes us to around March, April, February, somewhere around that time period next year, which again is within that date range of, first half of next year being the top of the bull market. interesting just to see that really occurring across multiple metrics of analysis. We've spoken about them in the past, but yeah, interesting to see. I think what we really need to discuss today, what we've been discussing, is this next move on Bitcoin. Again, I think this will be the last move we see on the Bitcoin chart when we start the move. When Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, it impulses, and then it goes to its next checkpoint on the way to its ultimate top. I think from that point forward, we will start to see Bitcoin dominance decrease, and we'll start to see an altcoin season occur. It's good, actually. What this actually is, it's good. It's good because, you know, we've broken an 8-year resistance line on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Previously, we were thinking the top on Bitcoin dominance might have been back here, in which case the bull market would have ended 300 days from that data point, which would have taken us to a top at a measly like November this year. So it's great that we've broken out here because it means we've kind of extended. Obviously, it's not confirmed to be extended at all. It's just speculation at the end of the day. But we've extended the speculative top date, which means in our theories, we can say, okay, it makes sense for the bull market to top out a little bit later than expected now because the altcoin season hasn't even started yet. So good to see. Where will Bitcoin dominance go? Well, as I said, it will be going upwards, in my opinion, until at least the top of the next Bitcoin move. But where would that be in the Bitcoin dominance chart? Well, we can very clearly see that the next major chunk of resistance, I mean, there's a huge resistance block, multifaceted, multivariate. I can draw out 5 or 6 different lines here, but I've just decided to bunch them together between around 63% and around where we are right now, 57%, or where we just touched on the Bitcoin dominance chart. That is where a major chunk of resistance is. I will be very surprised if the top is not found in that price region. Now, some people might say, oh, Wolf, we've just broken this massive resistance line. Surely we go upwards to like 80% as per regular TA. Guys, it's very important to note that charts like this don't follow regular TA, right? Measured moves don't apply on a chart like this, because if Bitcoin dominance was to go to 80%, that would basically mean that every single altcoin will die for the most part. There'll be very few altcoins remaining. And I just don't really think that's going to happen. Because that's not how the market's moved traditionally. Bitcoin dominance is in a macro downwards trend, and it makes sense to be in a macro downwards trend because the longer cryptocurrencies around, the more altcoins get invented, the more money is distributed between those altcoins, the less money is in Bitcoin. So there is always going to be a macro downwards trend on Bitcoin dominance. Even if Bitcoin performs so well, Bitcoin dominance will rise, but the macro downwards trend will remain, because how could it not remain? If there's more altcoins coming into existence, regardless of how successful they are, the sheer quantity of altcoins coming into existence will drag attention away from Bitcoin and hence naturally lower Bitcoin dominance over time. This is what we've seen. So it's not even in the cards for Bitcoin dominance to return to something like 80%. It's just not, it wouldn't be possible. There would have to be something so ridiculously weird that would occur with regulation, for example, just banning altcoins in every country, for example, to drag Bitcoin dominance that high again. But no, I don't think that... I don't think because we have ETFs now, that means the Bitcoin dominance is just in a perpetual upwards trend. We're never going to see an altcoin season. I think that's ridiculous. I think right now, Bitcoin dominance is behaving very normally, right? If we look historically, and this is why I've got these circles on the screen here. Historically speaking, Bitcoin dominance has only started dropping, right? Majorly dropping, right? Only started entering an altcoin season after we see the blue and yellow circle, the yellow circle being the halving and the blue circle being Bitcoin breaking all-time highs. Now, Bitcoin's broken all-time highs. We've drawn in that blue circle, but we haven't seen the halving yet. The halving's in about a week, okay? And historically, as I said, it's only once we see both of these events that we can expect Bitcoin dominance to actually start dropping downwards and for us to see an altcoin season. We haven't even seen that yet. So right now, Bitcoin dominance is, quite frankly, acting very normal, very regularly. This downwards trend, this massive yellow line, was not going to act as resistance forever. It just wouldn't be possible. Eventually, it would have had to break. That does not mean that, it's over for altcoins forever. It just means that, no, we've got another impulse here on Bitcoin dominance, and then altcoin season will occur whenever it occurs, right? So Bitcoin dominance breaking above an 8-year trend line is a very major thing. Moving into Ethereum BTC, so Ethi BTC, this is the Ethereum chart measured in Bitcoin instead of US dollars. Obviously, that means that when this chart moves down, it means that Ethereum is losing dominance against Bitcoin. And when it moves upwards, it means that Ethereum is gaining dominance against Bitcoin. As I said before, and as you would have noted, as per crypto money cycle flow, the next step in the money cycle flow is that we go into an Ethereum season, which happens just before an altcoin season. Some would just clump them together. I like to make a slight differentiation because I think there is one. And right now, obviously, Ethereum's in a Ethereum BTC is in a sharp downwards trend, but it's very much worth noting. It's in a sharp downwards trend in a vicious descending channel formation, which is a very bullish market pattern, meaning that this downwards trend, although it's occurring, is not sustainable, and eventually it will be breaking to the upside, and that will trigger the start of the Ethereum season, and potentially even the start of the altcoin season. Now, what we see is that there's a ascending support line in white here. I would expect that the bottom on Ethereum BTC could come on that white support line, so we've got a little bit further down to go. If not, maybe we drop below that line. Maybe we bounce here. Maybe we go down the green box. The point is we've got a little bit further down to go on Ethereum BTC. The bottom will come soon. And then when that bottom comes, when we break this channel to the upside, that will be the first major trigger that we're entering an Ethereum part of a cycle. So we'll watch this chart very closely. It's in a downwards trend. It's moving downwards, meaning Bitcoin's still gaining dominance against Ethereum. But eventually, this chart will reverse. And I suspect that we will go back upwards to retest the 2021 levels, at least on Ethereum BTC. So I do see myself as bullish on Ethereum BTC on a macro scale, but right now on a short-term medium scale, no, I can't be bullish on it because I think Bitcoin dominance breaking upwards here is a very good sign that Ethereum BTC will be heading further down as well. So do I expect Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin over the next couple months? No. Do I expect Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin over the next year? Yes, I do, of course. USDT dominance as well is interesting right now. What it shows is that USDT dominance is actually a major threat right now, to be honest with you. I'm going to discuss this very extensively in the next video. I don't think it's necessarily related to this video topic, but for tomorrow's video, keep an eye out, right? Because this chart right here, USDT dominance, when it moves upwards, it means that crypto goes downwards. When it moves downwards, it means that crypto goes upwards. It's found support. It's found support on the same level that led to the cryptocurrency top in 2021. This moving upwards led to a bear market, right? So right now it's moved downwards massively, which is why we've seen upside price action in crypto. But it's bouncing now. It's bouncing on the same level that led to the bull market top in 2021. So it's actually a major threat. It's actually quite a big threat. And not only that, we're seeing a descending channel formation. And a descending channel formation obviously is bullish. If we break that to the upside, we go upwards even further. Crypto gets dragged down even further. So we're going to discuss that extensively tomorrow. But I just wanted to mention it while we're on the topic of dominance charts. I may as well bring it up. Another thing I want to discuss here is the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap chart. So this is the crypto market cap chart excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So every single dollar in cryptocurrency excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. There are patterns emerging that show us that we're acting a very similar way to the last cycle. For example, we saw the bottom here in 2018. Okay, we saw the bottom here in 2022. We saw a top after the bottom in kind of this arc formation here. Okay, same thing. We saw a rounding formation. Okay, rounding formation there, rounding formation here. We saw a move upwards to a first kind of peak. Okay, and a sideways consolidation in that peak, a consolidation region. Saw the same thing over here. We saw a move upwards from that consolidation region to another kind of peak here, right? Same thing's happening right now. This is the second peak. That's where we saw a major correction in 2019, 2020. That's where we're seeing a major correction now. And the next move after that is a parabolic bull run to all-time highs, okay? Right, parabolic bull run to all-time highs, parabolic bull run to all-time highs. So this is kind of the last step, at least according to the historical trend here. Not really a trend, actually. Historical observation, or fractal, I should say. This should be, the correction we're seeing right now, should be the last kind of correction, the last kind of flush out before we see that parabolic move occur, before we see that bull market and crypto in general, and before we see that altcoin season, okay? So, good to note, right? It means we're on track here. There's nothing really too abnormal happening from a macro. Bitcoin dominance is seeing, in my opinion, what will be the final leg, or one of the final legs at least. As I said, I think that right now, Ethereum BTC is a great indicator to look at for when that altcoin season will start to occur. Am I bearish on Ethereum BTC for the next couple of months? Yes, I am. Do I think it will be at a higher place than it is now a year from now? Of course I do, right? So I do believe an altcoin season is coming. It's been pushed back, and I think that's a good thing because it actually extends the bull market for us. So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you got a lot out of this video. Yeah, if you appreciate it, go ahead and check out the BitGet and BingX exchanges. These are the exchanges we use on this YouTube channel. Okay, I reached out to these guys for partnership. They did not reach out to me. So that displays a degree of authenticity in my advertising of them, I believe. BingX is global non-KYC, and then BitGet is global KYC minus the USA. So if you're from the United States, you're going to use BingX. From anywhere else, you can take your pick between these two exchanges, whichever one you want, right? Both very low in trading fees, both never been hacked before. My referral links give you 15% trading fee discounts for life. So go ahead and check those out below. You can save thousands of dollars with those referral links. Crypto Academy, Become a Trader 10-unit course, bull market sale currently. So having a limited time sale for the bull market. If you want to learn how to trade, this is the place you can do it. And it's for time to do it as well, because you want to take advantage of the bull run. You want to learn how to trade for yourself. You don't want to rely on YouTubers for all of your financial kind of insights into the market. So check that out. And then finally, if you're a trader already or you're learning how to trade and you want altcoin trading signals from a professional trader like myself, you can get them in the VIP group. We've got a 77.51% win rate over 18 months of consistent trading. That is proven results, fully transparent in a PDF. You can read up all about it. Check that out, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you tomorrow.